Everyone, how you doing? My name's Ben. I'm lead educator at Lumenswap and the founder of Boring Crypto. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about something we have all been really anticipating, and that is the auction client from Lumenswap. Yeah, the auction client. This is going to enable project managers and developers who are looking at the Stellar ecosystem to come to Lumenswap and to launch their project in a fair and decentralized manner, right? Which we are absolutely buzzing about Lumenswap, because front and center of our philosophy is the Web3 decentralized world. Without further ado, let me get into this video, but I must tell you that this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a passionate crypto student, been in the space 4.5 years, and I have had some wins, losses, and everything in between. That's led to some wisdom, and I hope to pass that wisdom on to you so that you can navigate the crypto space with the least amount of friction. The boring part is now out of the way, and we are off and running with the eighth milestone, the auction. Greetings, Lumenswap community. Invest like the best. The auction.lumenswap.io has arrived. To build an ecosystem and to fuel growth, companies and projects need to attract external funds from investors to become stakeholders in new ventures. So basically, we need to get funding from people so that we can develop and that we can grow our project. Traditional fundraising methods rely on existing capital markets. For example, Coinbase floated their company as an initial public offering, IPO, with their shares listed as the ticker COIN on the Nasdaq. Despite these successes, cryptocurrency projects have taken an entirely different and innovative approach to fundraising. Tokens instead of shares. In the cryptocurrency world, projects mostly rely on communities to generate initial revenue. Auctioning tokens as a digital alternative to shares has multiple advantages. Full transparency, because the users have complete access to all the data on the blockchain, it's easy to track token transfers. Therefore, users are more likely to trust the fundraising event. Liquidity, unlike traditional seed rounds, public token sales are often unlocked at launch, coupled with automated market maker solutions, and day one trading liquidity gives fantastic flexibility and price appreciation potential for early investors. Open access. Most blockchain fundraising involves minimal identity checks, unlike traditional approaches, which restrict access to only a small number of qualified participants. Some projects have no KYC requirements at all. Only a wallet address is enough to take part in the event. Pure decentralized Web3, right? So decentralization. Transparency is pointless if data can be manipulated. On the blockchain, token issuance, sale and distribution are immutable and decentralized, which prevents fraud and manipulation. And finally, number 5, utility. Because tokens and applications are on the same blockchain, projects can use their own tokens in their ecosystem, multiplying utility and inherent value. This is how the Lumenswap auction client looks. Very tidy. We'll have a little look at that in a minute. Lumenswap's auction client allows curated projects in the Stellar ecosystem to raise capital from their communities in a transparent and fair fashion. This allows them to evangelize early adopters through aligned ecosystem incentives, increasing early chances of success. To put it briefly, the client can be described as a decentralized Kickstarter on Stellar. However, there are a few key differences between Kickstarter and Lumenswap. If you don't know what Kickstarter is, it's a crowdfunding platform. Lumenswap uses an English auction approach to distribute project tokens among buyers. As a result, everyone has an equal chance of winning the auction, thus removing the need for FCFS, queues, and other pointless activities. All transactions are recorded on the Stellar blockchain, allowing projects to conduct fully transparent, tamper-proof auctions. To participate in the auctions, users must exclusively use Stellar's native token XLM. So essentially, every auction that will come through Lumenswap will be in XLM. English auction. To take part in Lumenswap's auctions, you need a basic understanding of how English auctions work. An English auction has 3 primary components. Base price. Participants must offer bids equal to or greater than the minimum acceptable price. Token supply, the number of tokens to be offered during the auction. Auction period, the period of time which participants are allowed to place bids. So as soon as the auction kicks off, you can place your bids. Remember that all bids must be equal to or greater than the list price. Once the auction ends, the bids are checked and the tokens are distributed starting from the highest bid price until there are no more tokens. We must highlight this, starting from the highest bid price, highest backwards. Get this in your mind. A lot of people missed on the Lumenswap lottery because they thought they had to bid at the bottom price. No. The token allocation will go from the highest price backwards, and that's where people came unstuck. An important technique that will help you set optimum prices for your bids involves the volume price chart. Locate the number of tokens to be sold in the auction on the y-axis, and then draw a horizontal line and find the intersection point with the x-axis. Setting your bid price to a larger number than the intersection point will guarantee that you'll be a winner. If you can't find a point on the x-axis, the sum of the bids is smaller than the supply, you'll win regardless of your bid price. This will confuse a lot of people. It's confusing me, right? It's confusing me, this piece of text here, right? I just know I need to work out how many tokens are up for sale. I need to work out how many tokens are in that chunk from the top price bid backwards, right? Backwards. And then that will give me the baseline price. I will say this to you guys right now, halfway through this document. If you are trying to bottom feed on the auction, you will likely get burnt. And I'll tell you the reason why that is. Because there will be a bottom price that you'll work out when you come backwards. So with Rabbit, for example, it's 10 million tokens. You'll go 10 million tokens backwards. And you'll see all of where the token bids are. So you'll be able to add it all together. You'll come to the point and you'll say, aha, it's like, let's just say it's the equivalent of 6 cents is the baseline price. 2 minutes before the auction ends, someone comes in and puts a bigger price in. It moves. The bottom feeders are all wiped out. I would be very cautious and say to yourself, it's better to get in on the auction with a little bit more than base rather than be wiped out with someone coming in with a big order in the last minutes and it wiping out those people at the bottom, right? So just for that, for you to put that inside there, ready for the auction start. Let's have a look at this. Hold drop. This is very important as well. As an extra perk and thank you to our community, we will distribute an extra allocation of the auction tokens as a bonus to our most loyal LSP holders. So this is now really cool because you are going to be getting airdropped all these cool funky new projects if you are an LSP holder. Q, make sure that you are in the 10K club. Plus, how this will work, a few days before the auction, we'll take a snapshot of all the LSP holder addresses. Once the auction ends, users with over 10,000 LSP will receive a reward in proportion to their holdings. Again, there'll be a scale. Very much like the monthly rewards at Lumenswap in LSP tokens, the more you have, the greater your chunk will be. So for those big LSP hodlers, you will be getting a nice few RBT tokens when Rabbit launches at the end of January. Also note, key point, also note, Lucy holders will also qualify for the reward and will receive the same allocation as 10K holders. So Lucy now equates to 10K. This gives Lucy a base bottom line value, does it not? It's the equivalent of 10,000 tokens. Today, that's roughly $630, $640 at time of recording. So Lucy NFT now has a utility, which is super exciting. One of the first projects with utility, right, built into their NFTs moving forward. Think about it. Every time there's going to be a new project, some of these tokens to Lucy, some of these tokens to plus 10K LSP holders. Is it worthwhile being a 10K member right now? Of course it is, because as the projects keep coming, and we're going to be starting a brand new thread where the top tier team, myself and a couple of others, discuss which projects are going to get to be on the auction platform. Now, when we decide that, we're going to be bringing these projects out over the space of the year periodically. 10K holders get airdropped, Lucy holders. It's worth getting in those two clubs right away if you're not already in there. The Lucy Club and the 10K Club, of course. Auction client section. So here, oh, I missed the burning. I missed the key part. You bad boy. Vlad comes with his stick. You naughty, naughty boy. And it hits me hard. Joking aside, Lsp Burning, and there's a little emoji there. Look, Vlad really means business with this one, doesn't he? Instead of retaining our platform fee, 7% of the total XLM generated at auction will be used to buy Lsp and burn it back. So buying to support the price and wipe it out of circulation. This combined with the lottery is a winner, because we're going to be consistently doing lotteries, new auctions, and burning off the supply of Lsp. Bearing in mind, Lumenswap is going to be the light bearer, the flagship of these kind of clients on the Stellar network. Think about that. As the supply is being brought down over the months and years to come, we are going to see more people come to Stellar, more interest in Lumenswap. Demand increases, supply decreases, token appreciation potentially goes up, right? Keeps climbing up. So we've got this 7% burn, and it creates even more value and utility for Lumenswap's native token and ecosystem. Auction client sections. Here's a brief description of the sections you'll see in the auction client. The board shows a list of assets launched on Lumenswap's auction client. The send bid lets you enter your bid details and send your request to the network. Asset info, this box gives you asset information including the code, asset issuer and remaining tokens for sale. The auction info, this box gives you the information about the auction including the period, base price, total amount of bids. And by clicking on the circle icon next to the period will start counting down towards the end date. This way it'll be easier to see how long you have until the end of the auction. So if you click on the circle icon next to the period, there, it will start counting down for you, right? By clicking on the circle next to the total bids, you can view the total volume of bids. So bids, you can click onto that one and that will tell you the total volume of bids. This is the chart. So this is the price, right? This is the volume price chart that will be displayed in full screen mode by clicking on the expand icon. Now you can see where, the amount, we can see how many tokens are for sale at different price points. Remember what I said to you before. So what we would do here, we would come to the highest bids and we would say to ourselves, right, we can see that there's 10,000 here, or just a bit less, 9,000 here at 0.015, and then there's another same there. So that means there's, let's just say 18,000 there, and then this one here is, let's just say this is 8,000, this is now 26,000. You get the idea. But we do it the opposite way. So we start from this side, the most expensive prices, and work backwards. And that will then allow us to draw a line where all of the tokens will sell. Because the tokens will sell from right here to left. They will start selling, 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 and then run out. Bearing in mind this is a mock-up. Right, this is not the real prices. This is just giving you an example. But start selling and then stop. So this would be the floor price. This would be, even though this is the entrance price, the base price, this would be where we are in terms of where the actual price is going to be. The bottom price of the auction will be at the end. Now, you imagine this for 1 second. You imagine Mr. Whale or someone comes up here and puts in a whacking great order for tokens 2 minutes before the end. All of that will go. All of that will go. And the floor price of the auction will raise over here somewhere because he's putting a big offer. The auction becomes super critical in the last couple of hours. Of course, put your bid in. Of course, you want to get in as low as you can, and there's going to be people like, look at me, I got in at 0.056, and you got in at 0.057. I'm so amazing, right? Ignore those people. They're just idiots, right? You get in at a price that you value this project at. That's the easiest way. Don't listen to the hearsay. You do your own research, or DYOR, and you invest at a price point you feel is worth this. Do not get into the FOMO. If someone comes in and tries to hike the price up with a massive low, let them pay over the odds, because the chances are, if they do that kind of thing, when you see the token released, not necessarily Rabbit, but other projects, if they come in too high and they try and manipulate the auction, afterwards the token price is going to come down, you can get in cheaper. So you only pay what you as an individual value this project at. Ignore the noise. Ignore the Telegram, the Discord, the Twitter. Ignore it. Look at the project, value it for what you think. You put in your bid there and then. If you're outbid, so be it. That's what you're willing to pay. And that's exactly the advice that I would give you if you were going to Sotheby's or something like that and you were looking at a painting. Or if you were going to a house auction. If you've got 300 grand and there's loads of hype, you're not going to go to 400, are you? You've got 300, that's it. You're not going to stretch yourself over that. You're going to stick to what you have. Same with a painting. You value that painting at 2 mil. You're going to pay 2 mil. You ain't paying 4.5. So just take that on board. It's a little tip for you, a little bit of wisdom there, right? That don't get drawn into the FOMO of something. If it's not for you, there's always the next rocket ship. There's always the next project launch, and there's always the next auction. Moving on. Bids. Here you can view the last bids of the asset. If you click on show all bids, you'll be taken to another page where you can see all of the bids. Look. Yes, you can see how many bids are coming in at different price points. The winners, once the auction is over, you can head over to the section to see the list of winners. You can also search for your wallet address to see if you've won. So you don't need to say, have I won on the thing, you know, when tokens, when Binance, when Moon, and all this kind of crap. You know, you can just go over there and just do it yourself, right? We're all adults. Well, maybe some aren't. My bids, this section lets you manage all your bids for different auctions, and you cancel any of them all anytime. Just click on to cancel. Done. Yeah, all it's basically doing is it's just putting an order onto the Stellar Ledger. That's all it's doing. As soon as you cancel that off, it removes it. On a final note, Rabbit will be the first auction on Lumenswap. The auction details will be published soon. Thank you for reading the article. We're anticipating that this is going to be on the 27th. A little bird, just so happened to also be called Vladimir, landed on my shoulder and said it looks like it will be the 27th. There is no connection between the little bird and the real Vladimir. It just so happened to have the same name. Very much like Dave and Dave at the pub. Let's move up to the top and let's see the auction platform itself. Let's go. Here we go. Auction board, all the stuff we spoke about. I don't want to actually log on to my wallet at the moment, but maybe I have to show you the auction board. Let's go. Rabbit. Aha, no we don't. Good. We've got the Rabbit auction board, so we can see if we click onto this, this is going to actually open up. You see there's no bids, no winners, but we've got the details, right? So it's all nice and clean. We've got the amount to sell. There's going to be 8 million Rabbit. We've got the, or I think there's actually going to be 10, unless something's changed. We've got the asset issuer. We've got the asset code. Bearing in mind, this is all mock-up at the moment. This date is not right. Okay, this is not right at the moment. Unless it's changed, it might have moved backwards because the sale was so quick. And the base price is going to be organised the day before the Rabbit auction because, of course, XLM is like this, isn't it? So to get 4-cent price, which we've been told, we would need to do that right close to the live auction so that we get as close as we can to start with. So this can't be right now because we would still be... What are we? We're going to still be 5 and a bit days out from the auction. And then you can see there's no bids or nothing. There's nothing really to see at the moment, but this is where you would come, right? And again, you would need to get your head into learning, watching this video, watching, other videos, learning about it. But what we're going to start seeing here is we're going to start seeing bids. So we're going to start to see like a bar chart come in, yeah, where the bids are. Remember, please, please, please remember. Don't work from left to right. Don't think, okay, there's 2 million for and add it up. You have to work from right to left. The top ones will fill first. The top bids, moving backwards. So it's really a game of looking how many of the top bids there are, placing maybe your bid there, if it fits in to your buying strategy. There's a lot to unpack in this video. Yeah, there's going to be all sorts of things. People are going to be saying, when am I going to get my airdrop for holding a Lucy or 10K? That's going to be coming. Right, and you're going to be dropped those at the end of the auction period. Here it says the 1st of February. I think it may be a couple of days after that, but this may have changed. So it might not be the 27th now. It might be the 25th of Jan. If it's the 25th of Jan, happy days. It's 2 days earlier. And we finish on the 1st of Feb. So that would be the 7-day period, which would make sense because then the holding rewards for the people that are going to be locking these tokens down are going to be paid to you guys at the end of February, after 1 complete month. So you're going to be getting at the end of the auction your Lucy drops, your 10K holders drops for the existing LSP family, and then the Rabbit rewards kick in at the end of it, and the Rabbit rewards will be paid at the end of Feb, and I've been confirmed this, for the complete month of February. You're going to be getting then, you know, if you win at auction and you take those assets and you put them into your Stellar wallet, you will then have a random snapshot taken in February, and exactly like Lumenswap, you will be paid your rewards at the end of the month. I hope it's been informative and a little bit fun, right? And you now have a much better understanding of the auction client. Remember, just to reiterate, these things are highly volatile. The reason I started in crypto was to protect people from getting scammed and to educate people so that they can navigate with a lot less friction. This is going to be, I believe, very, very crazy, this auction. There's going to be a lot of people coming in with big bids, and there's going to be a lot of people with their own strategies to try and manipulate it to feather their own nest. Be warned. People are going to be coming in at the last minute trying to gazump people, trying to get their tokens. It's going to be crazy. It's the first auction of its kind on Stellar. This is the first time it's going to be done. Watch the video, share this video with other people, get a good basic knowledge of what the hell is going on before you come anywhere near it. If you are not 100% cool with exactly what's going to happen here, right, and bearing in mind as soon as the auction is live and we start seeing this come in, I'll make another video showing you all of the different parts, the working parts. I'll put in a bid, you'll see how it works. Please, if you are not 100% sure, don't do anything until that video comes out. And then at least you'll go, okay, I kind of get it now. I've got an idea. I can see it all working. This is just like the preliminary video. Anyway, as always, rock and roll Lumenswap, right? It's going to be a real crazy year for you Lumenswap family out there. I'm delighted to be involved in it. Any questions underneath? If this video was of great quality and you love it, then give me a like, give me a subscribe, and give me a comment underneath. It helps with the algorithm and stuff, yeah? Even if it's one of these ones that's trolling me at the moment, you can comment underneath as well. It also helps. So God bless everyone. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care.